Like it says here, we currently expect the last day of trading for APE to be March 14th, which is the day that the vote is supposed to happen. Why is that? And I'd highly recommend you guys to take this photo right here, really read through it on Proposition 1, Proposition 2, and how both of those have to be voted on to convert and do the reverse split. What's up, guys? Just pulled over for a minute, get a little tired out on the road. And I know people, this weekend's been wild. Had a good time up there in Washington, D.C. Very good time. Already working on the other places. Look like we might be looking at FINRA. They have some conference in May, and maybe some other stuff. I probably won't be able to make it to anything for the next 2.5 months. I won't be able to go anywhere. Some of the other team members can, but we can start to organize. But on a side note, I'm still invested in AMC. It's still the stock, and I talked to some of my AMC folks this weekend too, and I guess we released that filing. They're talking about March 14th, and there were some concerns in there. I know George was talking about it too in that filing, talking about delisting APE as of March 14th. I know my plan was, if APE runs, I was hoping APE would run with the arbitrage effect and maybe run back up to $10, and then I could sell that APE and get the majority of my money back, and then let AMC kind of ride through this mess. But in that filing, I was talking to one of the other guys online. It also shows in there, and this is where you get a little strange, man. It shows that first, there's like option 1 and 2, and it won't work unless we vote that both of them go through. So, we got to raise the float, but it's only asking to raise the float to like 550 million. And I thought I understood, especially in that video of Adam Aaron, when he was talking about when you combine the two together, you have like 1.4 billion, and then when you reverse them, you have 140 million. But what that filing sounds like now, the one they released, what little bit I can get. I mean, I'm obviously on the road, and what little information I can get. So I'm just posing it for those that may be looking into it, maybe know something I don't. Drop it in the comments, like and share, get this out there so other people like, or drop their comments what their opinions are. But it looks like they're going to do a reverse split. The way I understand it, they're going to reverse split both stocks first. So if there's 516 million AMC, they're going to reverse split that 10-1, so there will be 50 million AMC. And then on the APE shares, since there's what, 5 plus another 4, almost 900 million of those things were released potentially. So you reverse those, and so there's going to be like, what, 90 million? And then once they reverse those back, or 80 million, once they reverse those back, then they can combine those two together with that actual conversion. And then when you add those two together, that way you can fit them in the float. They're just asking to push the float to 550, though. The float's 516, which is kind of weird. In one hand, it's like, okay, it's not going to be a float of 1.4 billion. It's going to be back to that original float it's at, so not raising that float that much. Is that done so that we don't freak out about the vote? That we don't want it to go to 1.4 billion if you raise the float to take the AMC in, or take the APE into AMC. So there's a lot of questions in there, man. That got me wondering, like, what's the plan there? I mean, you guys obviously by now know I'm not a big fan. It does, taking 90% of everything I worked for all this time and fought for just does not add up. Plus, I just don't trust Adam. I don't trust corporate greed. Greed's everywhere. Their plans. I mean, I put a survey out, but you got to ask yourself, like I keep telling people, why would a CEO want their stock to squeeze? Why would they want that attention on it? Because if it squeezes up, guess what happens? The shorts are going to pile in again just to drive it back down, right? So, and it's like, to me, it would be, my company's targeted, and now it's targeted as a meme stock, or it's targeted as a short candidate. Now these retailers are going to jump in and try to squeeze our stock a little bit, and then they're going to bail, and then the shorts are just going to pile back in again too. Like that, it just does no good for the company or the actual CEO. So for me to believe a CEO is actually on board, wanting to help get the stock to squeeze, I don't think so. But we are seeing CEOs that want to come forward and expose the naked corruption for what it is, expose these things. And that's the CEOs I want to work with. Those are the CEOs that I want to know. And that's why I will be lobbying and going at other CEOs. It's not about squeezing your stock. It's about identifying that your stock is being shorted to death. Your stock is being attacked. Join us, retail, as we fight back. That's the direction I'm going, guys. About the corruption. Said it before. And you know what? I'm sorry if you don't like it. And there's nobody that I won't go after. There's nobody. If there's corruption or if there's something out there, I can tell you right now, Smokey and I will go after it. we'll smoke it out. We'll find it. And so no one's off limits. Adam Aaron's not off limits. Ryan Cohen's not off limits. Any of these other freaking CEOs are not off limits. Look, if they're not actively trying to help us to expose the corruption on Wall Street, that means that they're a part of the corruption. They just want to stay there. They don't want to mess with the system. And I understand they're going to be fearful of that because they're biting the hand that feeds them. So that's where I'm hoping people wake up and realize that, especially on the AMC front, because I know a lot of people are all in love with Adam Aaron, thinking he's your best buddy. But you haven't seen it yet. You haven't laid it out for yourselves. And I'd say, sure, I don't want to, it's not about bashing him. It's about being reality. Use this think right here. But the filing's interesting. Why are they only raising it to 550 million? And then they're going to actually reverse split both first, then combine them, convert them together. So then they can roll them into the AMC original float. Didn't see that necessarily coming. Why did they make that change? And I haven't got a chance to read whatever, all 56 pages. I just have a couple of these I've added here that stood out and people had pointed out to me too. So yeah, let's do some digging, guys. See what you think. Because, you know, I'm heavily, pretty much everything I got's invested into AMC and 8. I want to see that it plays out too. But I also put it aside and realize that it's about the corruption for me. If it does, it does. If it doesn't, it doesn't. I'm still going to fight for it regardless. I just hope that this that's coming, this process that they're looking at doing, isn't going to wipe us out and completely trap us. Because reality, like I told one of the guys last night at the hotel, you know, they could easily just give you your money back on those, what was it, the MMTLP he was showing me in his account. He had 27 grand negative. I said, well, if that's what you put in, they could just put 27 grand back and say it's over with. I mean, it's the government, man. They're all got to be involved. And that's why I'm focusing everywhere, because you guys need to see the bigger picture. This is so much bigger than just one stock. This is so much bigger. And I saw it this weekend even more. My eyes are open to the mass of the actual corruption. And that's where I'm going. I'm going to the heart of the corruption. To the heart of the corruptions that we can find. All corruption. I'm going to dig. We're going to dig. And we'll expose them all. I'm not running on hopium. That hopium crap, I told you before, I'm not here to wipe your butt and blow smoke up your butt and try to give you hopium. I'm here to fight for what is right. What is right. Remember that. That right's going to mean something to you here soon. You'll understand. Thanks, guys. Thanks for all the support. Thanks for hanging in there. Like, share. I got to say this stuff. It is what it is. If you like me, like it, share it. But most importantly, drop your comments. I like the comments. I really do. I like to read them, even if I don't respond to most of them or a lot of them. I still like to read them. I like to hear from you. I like to hear your opinions, because hearing from multiple people's opinions can help learn. It's educate. That was the whole point of the educational awareness rally. I loved it. I got to talk to Will. I got to talk to George. I got to talk Smokey. I got to talk to all those guys that are out there, different people from the group. I get to hear their stuff. Last night was so cool, sitting on the couch talking to three other investors, you know, about their stocks and what was happening. We didn't sit there and try to sell each other on why my stock's going to squeeze and yours isn't, or mine's better than you. We united, man. We realized that the real war is retail against the funds, not a bunch of retail split everywhere. So I hope you guys get that. I hope you can set aside that and tell everybody that's out there playing that game of fighting. This is the unite. We need to unite with everyone. That's got to be up to you to decide to do that. Thank you, guys. Let me get on the road again.